All right. 3 side hustles that will help you make your escape from the corporate grind. But first, let's discuss the context required and how I can possibly be that guide who facilitates your success with a very well planned out roadmap. Extremely important. Now, maybe you are struggling to make ends meet or facing a possible bankruptcy like I experienced in the past. Not fun either. Or simply just trying to provide more for your family, which I think most of us are. Now, if this sounds like you, a little like you, then you're in the right place. Now, the context or the glass, right, that, so to speak, which will hold the content or water in place is absolutely your mindset. And if your mindset isn't continually worked on and it's not optimized, nothing I share with you or teach you will be held together long enough before frustration sets in, extreme frustration, and then you ultimately you give up, right? So, but we'll cover the mindset in more depth in the future videos. But for now, let's get on with my favorite 3 side hustles. And stick with me until the end and I will share a major tip that will make any of these options an absolute success. All right, on to number 1. And you're gonna think this is probably off the wall. It's not the typical, the real estate and all these other things that you're probably used to hearing here on YouTube, but it's actually like DoorDash or Uber Eats. Because I know a lot of individuals that are going to watch this channel when you're just diving off into entrepreneurship or looking for those side hustles. You may not have that extra money, right? You're trying to figure out ways to quickly, stir up some cash, start getting it coming in. And I think things like, honestly, DoorDash or Uber Eats, because it's a low barrier of entry. These are things that actually can start bringing in some cash. And I think, again, going back on mindset, this is where you have to make that decision, right? To when you do make that decision that things have to change, instead of spending excess amounts of time on social media and doing crap that makes no sense unless it's making you money, then you have time. So the quicker and easier entry, in my opinion, is something like this. It's DoorDash or Uber Eats, right? Where you're making commissions and for deliveries and tips and all that kind of stuff. That gives you some seed capital, okay? The downside though, and I shouldn't say there's a downside. If you're content with that and you just need that little bit of extra income, it's an exchange for time and you hope that you're providing good service and that you're getting tips. If you're doing a good job, and some people just aren't very good about tipping workers, and that's unfortunate, but that is the way it is, right? But you're limited with something like DoorDash or Uber Eats. It's not something that is sustainable. It's not something that you can set up long-term, in my opinion, or be really sustainable or scalable, because you're going to be working with somebody else and they're getting the brunt of the proceeds. But that's a great way, in my opinion, to create some seed capital that you can move on to something else that you can scale and actually turn into something that's yours, right? That's what I like, is creating something that's mine. So, good way to get started off, DoorDash or Uber Eats, great for seed capital, but not sustainable in my opinion, or not sustainable, period. Not my opinion, but it's not. It's gonna be very hard to scale something like that unless you do your own thing and you create your own business, which is kind of going on to number 2, which is basically either creating your own brand, doing something in white label, sales, whether you're private labeling, creating a brand. This is where I actually started personally back when I started taking that dive off into entrepreneur or jumping off that cliff and saying, hey, I'm making the decision to do this. This is what I'm going to do. Didn't know what the hell I was doing, but first thing I started gravitating towards was t-shirts, which I've learned now is one of the most difficult businesses to get up off of the ground is anything apparel. Very difficult due to inventory amounts and sizes and all that kind of crap. But hey, some people make it work. And if that's what they're really passionate about, kudos to them. But that's where I started. Then one door led to another and opened another and so on. And then I went down that rabbit hole of entrepreneurship. But I started with something. But pros of that are, again, it's yours. And you start learning a lot of stuff that you wouldn't have learned before. And that's what it takes. It's all about failing. But the negatives, or to say the downsides, it's a little bit more capital intensive. So again, white labeling something, although there's some ways, and again, I teach these as well, where we can, take somebody else's product and we put our own label on it. And especially there's some of these places that are on demand, like drop shipping, and all kinds of different categories, whether it's supplements like I do, whether it's, again, apparel, colognes, whatever, men's and women's lotions and potions and all that kind of crap. You can white label that stuff, and then you can start taking the direction to creating your own customized formula, again, which we do, but it's more labor and money intensive. But it's, again, it's yours. You create something, and it's amazing watching something like that grow. And that, again, is one of those things that can lead to some amazing freedom, sovereignty type situations. But there is another one, number 3, that I actually lean towards and really strongly recommend. It all kind of depends, again, on your risk tolerance and maybe how deep your pockets are. That's why, again, go back to number 1, to start getting some seed capital going, something that's kind of easy to get out there and do, like deliveries or many other things that, again, you're essentially working for somebody else and trading your time for money, but that's okay. If it's increasing some seed capital for you, then you can start off on one of these ventures. So now on to number 3, which is probably my favorite. It's my bread and butter. It's what I learned. It's actually what took me out of the rat race and into a high 7-figure business, and that's affiliate marketing. I'll give you both the upsides and the downsides, so to speak. But the upside, definitely with affiliate marketing, again, it's a much lower cost of entry. You can start learning a lot of stuff online on channels like this. The stuff I teach as well in programs that we're starting to offer is how to become affiliate marketer. And you don't necessarily have to always be in front of the camera like this. I don't like it either. I'm not comfortable, but I knew that I needed to get more comfortable being uncomfortable. But some people just absolutely don't want to do it. I get it. Totally get it. Took me years of just, sweating my balls off to get myself in front of these damn cameras. But don't have to do that. You can do stuff like blogging, all kinds of things. You're using affiliate links to attach to blogs and different things, whether it's in Amazon, all kinds of avenues that you can do in the affiliate marketing realm to start earning what I would call semi-passive income. I don't really believe in truly passive income, but semi-passive, where again, you've got a link created once out there in a blog or an ad or whatever it may be, you can start incurring revenue off of that, okay? And then as you grow and get more higher level in your skill point, that's again where it comes to mindset and making sure that you're sticking with it. But as you start learning those new skills, man, sky is the limit. And again, that's what I took off doing, first being an affiliate for a company. And then I got my opportunity because doors opened. I started learning a shit ton and basically allowed me to create my own affiliate marketing business, where now I sit at the tip of the top of the pyramid, or whatever you want to call it, which again, I know that term nobody likes, and I agree, but basically I have a lot of affiliates, about 10,000 of them working for me across the country, bringing me in this little bitty pieces of money all the time. You gotta love that. Adds up to some strong numbers. But I'd say maybe the downside to it, again, is it takes time. You have to start developing skills, but really anything that you're gonna do out in the marketplace, you're gonna have to become an expert at something, or I strongly advise it if you really were going to be successful. And you're gonna need to really laser focus on something to where you get really good at it, and then you start figuring out how to leverage that and scale it. So, affiliate marketing, again, probably my number 1 choice, but again, so many of them out there that it just depends on what you like, what your risk tolerance is, and so on. But anyway, there you have it. Please hit that like button and subscribe if you found really any value in this video. And make sure you click that little bell for notification, because it really helps this whole dude out. Oh, and come join our like-minded community on Telegram. I'll leave that link somewhere down below in the description. Now, on to that major tip that I mentioned before, which is, drum roll, mentorship. Absolutely a freaking must, okay? Don't do this by yourself. You will get discouraged. I guarantee it. You'll quit, and then you'll never want to start again. It absolutely requires mentorship. Finding somebody that, whether it's digital, whether it's through books, if you're lucky enough to run into a personal mentor that's willing to give you mentorship for no cost or a reasonable cost, you've got to jump all over it. And then jumping into communities, right? There's other communities around that are just like you, that want like-minded people involved in there, so you can brainstorm, you can help each other. And that's what I've recently been into, creating a community for our organization as well, teaching people again about mindset, how to build businesses, all kinds of different things that, again, we can teach them. I've done real estate, still do real estate, all kinds of things, but not about me, it's about you, right? Finding a mentor, finding somebody that can help you, that's like-minded, that can help you on the right path, and that can keep you from falling in those pits, running into those roadblocks and whatnot. Now, you're still going to do that. We all are going to want to try to choose our own path and make something work. And a lot of times you'll figure out that's how you learn that it doesn't work, even though you've got a mentor like myself or somebody else telling you it's probably not a great idea. Hey, I've been there, done that. I had to try stuff even when people would beat it in my head that it's not going to work. And hey, then I learned. And then sometimes though I discovered some things about it that allowed me to kind of pivot a little bit. Hey, that's how it works, right? But there's a lot of things that us mentors and mentors out there in the world are going to help you eliminate as far as mistakes and save you some time, save you some moolah. Really, really important. Speaking of mentors, do you already have a mentor? Who is your favorite mentor? Leave it down in the comments. Whether it's an online mentor, a book mentor, YouTube mentor, whoever it may be, I'm curious to know who you like. Leave it down there in the comments. And also let me know if there's a side hustle that you've found to be the best one and you're already doing one. I'd love to know. Let me hear about it so I can maybe release it in another video. All right. Are you ready to get started? Let's minimize those bumps in the road and set you on a path to ultimate success. Yes. And let's craft your escape plan and make your dream job an absolute reality. So there you have it. I love you. And until the next video.